uncle's vehicle crashed into a parked car and then struck a Dunkirk police car. Police say he was held overnight pending arraignment in the case. He faces several felony charges and was later released under New York State's bail reform law. Luckily, no one was injured in the crash. And City of Jamestown fire investigators have released the cause of a fire that destroyed a Spring Street house Monday morning. Crews say an unattended torch left on the first floor of that multi-story home caused the blaze that was first reported at around 6:40 a.m. at 614 Spring Street. A woman who lives across the street tells us that she woke up to the sound of glass breaking and a man screaming for help. Officials say the man was the only occupant of the home and was not hurt. The structure was later demolished after it was deemed unsafe to enter. The Blackwell Chapel AME Zion Church, located next door, was not damaged. And a 74-year-old woman convicted in the death of a Town of Bust-I man last year is now being sued by his family. Mary Lou Johnson, the Town of Bust-I woman who previously pled guilty to second-degree manslaughter in the death of Wilfredo Colon Rodriguez Jr., was named in the lawsuit filed this week in state Supreme Court here in Chautauqua County. The suit was filed by Buffalo attorney Taylor Gobla of Litson Green Scheme, Cambria. Johnson, as part of the plea deal, accepted a sentencing commitment of 2 to 6 years behind bars. In April 2018, Colon Rodriguez Jr. was reported missing by a neighbor who became concerned after not speaking with him for several days. Lakewood Bust-I police then opened a missing persons case. His body was later found on Swanson Hill Road in the town of Randolph. Well, an annual event to raise money to help those diagnosed with cancer is scheduled to take place next week. Hoops for Hospice, hosted by the Falconer girls basketball team, will donate funds raised to Hospice of Chautauqua County in honor of 1990 Falconer School graduate Heather Lefford Egbor, who lost her battle with sarcoma in 2013. The team is now asking for local business and community members to make donations to help support that fundraiser. Businesses are encouraged to donate gift cards or items that could be raffled off, and community members are encouraged to attend the charity game on Tuesday, January 28th at 6 p.m. with varsity basketball starting at 7:30 at the school's gymnasium. Now, for over 30 years, Hospice of Chautauqua County has provided comfortable end-of-life care to patients and their families. More information is available on the team's Facebook page. Well, hopefully everybody is having a great day. We thank you for joining us here on WNY News Now. Happy Tuesday to Wendy. Thanks for being here. Hello to Joseph as well. Rod says, happy Friday Eve. Good to see you here, Rod. Hello to David. Hello to Pam as well. And Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter joins us now with a first look at our weather. And Dakota, that Hoops for Hospice charity basketball game seems to be one of the biggest events there in Falconer, and they raise money for a lot of good causes.
Mm-hmm. They do. And unfortunately, I don't play basketball, unfortunately. So
well, that's okay.
I suck at it, though.
The girls will take care of it. We don't have to.
Although I will say my oldest nephew, though, apparently from what I've heard, he's good at it. So Xander, proud of you. Here we go with the first offense Doppler. The time is moving, but the weather is not changing. It's another dry day, but there'll be more clouds around, of course, than what we had yesterday. So not a whole lot of sunshine like we had yesterday. But the ski resorts all looking good here. Just updated this morning, peak and peak, 12 to 36-inch bases with a packed powder surface. Look at Holiday Valley, 24 to 61-inch bases. Of course, all the bases are looking substantial. Even Hollymont at 56-inch at the peak base with a machine groom surface. Mount Pleasant, 8 to 15 inches with a machine groom packed powder surface. So this is the place to be. But actually, the snowfall totals, it's very interesting when you look at it. And of course, we'll talk about it later in the full weather segment. We actually calculated where we are for snowfall so far this year. 31 was the high yesterday, 20 was the low this morning, so definitely not as chilly this morning. So when you got up this morning, you didn't have a whole lot of, it wasn't as chilly as it has been in past nights. 66 and 25 below zero are in the record books for today. So basically through the afternoon, sun and clouds will battle through the day today. They're going to be battling, but it's going to be a friendly A friendly battle, though. Milder, but it stays dry. 35 in the valleys, 42 at the Lake Erie shoreline. That southerly wind always is your best friend to warm you up. But another weekend storm coming our way. We'll talk about what we know with the potential totals in just a few minutes. Back to you, Justin.
All right, Dakota, thank you. Coming up on this Thursday, what law could we travel? And later, it's a wonderful day for pie. Why? We explain in just a few.
EagleZip.com is your local one-stop shop for all of your home and business computer needs. Located on Fluvanna Avenue Extension, just outside of Jamestown, EagleZip.com sells and services all brands of desktops and laptops, as well as servers and network equipment for your business. All new computer sales include transferring your data from your old computer plus a 2-year warranty. Call EagleZip.com today.
Stop by EagleZip.com today and let us make computers easy for you. When you're on the go, stay in the know by downloading the WNY News Now mobile app. Stay up to date on local news, weather, and sports that matter to you. Plus, subscribe to breaking news and weather alerts from the team that puts coverage first. In addition, watch news as it happens with the Southern Tier's only 24/7 streaming network. Download the WNY News Now app right now. It's free on the Apple App Store and Google Play Store.
And welcome back to WNY News Now. Congressman Tom Reed this week blasted Governor Cuomo and the effects of New York's green light law that allows illegal immigrants to obtain driver's licenses. Reed says the federal government may not accept New York's enhanced driver's license since some non-citizens are available to obtain the ID under the new law. The congressman says instead residents wanting to travel outside of the country may have to purchase a passport. He says it would be an expensive tax for New Yorkers, but may be necessary for security of airports as well as all New York's driver's license because they look virtually identical to one another. Reed says he plans to discuss the issue with the acting Homeland Security Director in the coming days. Well, New York Governor Andrew Cuomo released a $178 billion budget proposal this week, alongside a host of new laws he wants to pass, from allowing e-bikes to a ban on single-use styrofoam containers. The Democrat has made it a practice of his to purpose multiple new laws with budgets when he submits them to lawmakers in January. A notable law passed as part of a budget was the $15 minimum wage in 2016. The governor says he uses his budgets to rally attention and support for his top annual legislative priorities. The legislature plans to start hearing on the budget next week. The long list of new laws included in that budget are posted now at WNYNewsNow.com. Well, Sunday is no longer a day off for FedEx employees. Starting this week, Sundays are just another day of the work week. The delivery service begins Sunday ground service as it tries to compete with Amazon and other shippers. FedEx delivered packages on Sunday during the holiday season, but now most Americans can accept or receive orders 7 days a week year-round. FedEx is trying to keep pace with the massive amount of packages delivered by Amazon each year. Its competitor, UPS, also launched Sunday delivery at the beginning of this year. And the switch to 5G internet connection is promising to revolutionize the way we surf the net, chat with our loved ones, and even navigate our cars. And experts say access to the next generation of wireless network will be better than ever this year. In today's Consumer Watch, a look at how 5G will impact our lives.
5G is here. Faster speeds, speedier connections, and seamless streaming. But most of us haven't seen these promised perks. That's because 5G coverage is still pretty limited across the country. But that may change this year. Tech experts say 5G phones and networks will increasingly become more accessible to everyone this year. So how fast is 5G? Experts say it's internet speed that's up to 100 times faster than 4G. 5G. Here's how it works. Much of 5G network will travel over super high frequency airwaves, which bring faster speeds and more bandwidth. Because they can't travel through walls or windows, wireless companies are having to install possibly millions of miniature cell towers on top of lampposts and buildings. That process has been slow, as wireless companies roll out the service one market at a time. Experts say 5G coverage is expanding much faster than the pace of 4G rollout a decade ago. Right now in the U.S., all 4 of the major wireless providers are offering some kind of 5G service. Back in December, T-Mobile launched what it called the first nationwide 5G network, and the other 3 providers say they too will have coast-to-coast service later this year. In Consumer Watch, I'm Mary Maloney.
All right, Mary, thank you very much. Well, certainly, Dakota, 5G is the way of the future, I think, and everyone wants faster speeds. And as technology advances, especially for us in our communication industry, I think the faster the internet, the better.
Yeah.
And usually the higher quality things you can stream, 4K video. We shoot all of our field cameras in 4K video, which works out really well because we get some really high definition images. Studio cameras not 4K just quite yet. They're a little more expensive, but nevertheless, it is really cool to see where this technology is going. And I know we don't quite yet have 5G here.
Yeah.
We have 4G.
It'll probably be a while before we get 5G here. And I mean, it took us a while to get 4G when it rolled out. And it was the same thing with LTE. When we got, LTE, which is basically a higher standard of the 4G standard, I mean, it took us a while to get it because we're not a major area according to the cell providers. So
I imagine that goes back to customer base, but it kind of stinks in the fact that sometimes there are areas in our counties that you drive and you will lose phone signal.
Yeah, I do.
Like there's that portion of 86 between Kennedy and Randolph. Just expect no matter what carrier you have for it to drop in parts of Route 62. And I know that their companies are trying to do better, but even then, you think about it, out there is a lot of farmland. It's like
it's very rural.
Yeah.
And
I mean, there's still customers out there.
Right. I mean, we say the same thing to cable. It's like, a lot of people who live out in the rural country don't have access to cable or high-speed internet. They have to use dial-up or DSL because that's all that's available. So.
And that stuff is slow.
Yeah.
Let me tell you. No offense to anybody with DSL, but it's so amazing. And
56K.
Yeah.
Anybody?
And I'm willing to talk about it because at this point, if they fire me or whatever. But we hopefully you're all having a great Thursday. Thanks for being here. First of all, hello to Joe, hello to Susie, hello to Rod. So we've been running off of data here at WNY News Now because we had an issue with our internet last week.
Yeah.
And that's boiled over into this week, and now they're still trying to fix it, and we're still waiting for.
Needless to say, those of us who work. How do I want to word it?
Those of us who work online.
Yeah, we're all getting.
Crucial.
Yeah, I mean, we're getting a little frustrated, but it's like we understand things take time and whatnot. But
got to give a shout out to Dakota because for his first defense forecast, some of the stuff you got to do from home.
Yeah,
you got to do it on your MacBook. So you do a good job though with that.
Well, we try. Yeah. We do the best we can with what we've got.
Exactly. That's what it's all about.
Speaking of that, let's take a look at this. Now, as I told you during the first weather segment, we calculated our annual snowfall so far, and this is where we're at so far in terms of snowfall here. So when you take a look at all this through the month, we only had 7.9 inches of snow in November, then December 13.3. So far this month, we're at 18 inches of snowfall. Now, this is for Jamestown at the airport, and when you add all this together, we're at 39.2 inches so far for the year. We should be at 55. We should be close to about 55 and a half inches. So we're running 16 inches below normal average snowfall for the year. And our average snowfall for the year is 100.3 inches. That actually goes out. Basically, how we calculate that is by going to history that goes out to 100 years. So the 100-year average is 100.3 inches for the year. So we're 16.1 inches below average where we should be. But the winter is still young. Shh. don't say anything. Maybe winter won't wake up, and it'll be the same thing like we had. You can see the clouds downtown, 33 at the airport right now, south wind of 6, and that southerly wind is helping to boost our temperatures up. It's like it was yesterday, mild. I think we'll tack on a few more degrees basically onto what we had yesterday. The wind chill is at 27 degrees. The bigger story is the weekend. We've been hinting about this all week long, and now we're getting a better idea as to what we're going to have here. So again, mild air through the rest of the week, rain showers later tomorrow. Early tomorrow starts dry. It's later in the day when we start to get into some rain showers. There's that weekend storm system, and we're talking about a sloppy accumulation of snow likely Saturday and Sunday. This is not going to be like that dry snow. It's going to be that slushy, kind of nasty snow because there's going to be a lot of moisture in it. Brand new Run a Future scan. Here it is for you. We're starting this tomorrow at noon, and you can see we'll be dry across the area. Here we go into some of these rain showers. Now, it will be a plain rain. There'll be no snowflakes, nothing. It'll be a plain rain. Temperatures too warm to allow for that. And but it'll be a widespread rain as we go into Friday night. But look what happens right here. We get some of this colder air starting to filter in, and it changes it over to a wintry mix, especially eastward. And this is the in-house model, and it shows a lot of that further off to the east. But colder air filters right back in as we go Saturday night into Sunday, and it changes it over to snow. Now, we think because we're going to add in more sleet into this and more rain, that'll help to keep down the overall snowfall accumulations. So in terms of the snowfall accumulations, this is what we've got right now going all the way through the weekend here. Maybe about 2 to 4, 2 to 5 inches on the highest hills, and then across the lower elevations about 1 to 3 inches, 1 to 2 once you drop down to Erie, Pennsylvania. The lower amounts of the totals will actually be further out to the east because there'll be more mixing going on here, so that'll help to keep down the snowfall accumulations. But again, this is going to be a sloppy, slushy accumulation. This isn't going to be that, playful kind of snow. It's that nasty kind of snow that we often get. So in terms of the impact, snowfall, mixed precipitation, this is not a high impact event like last weekend, but there will be some impacts from it as that storm system actually moves off to our east. Zone forecast, the inland areas very quickly here. Temperatures here, this is actually above average. The mid to upper 30s here for most areas, sun and clouds, milder afternoon, south wind 5 to 10. Future coming up right now, and tomorrow, another warm day, 40 degrees. That rain chances later in the day, wintry mix on Saturday, 36, and then on Sunday, we may actually change back over again to another wintry mix later in the day. We'll be hovering around freezing. A few leftover snowflakes Monday, 34, and then Tuesday and Wednesday both look dry right now with temperatures above average in the mid to upper 30s. Jay and Norm?
All right, Dakota, thank you very much. Norm's here with a preview of what's next in sports.
Yes, Justin, coming up in sports, a Buff Neighbors player was named to this year's NHL All-Star Game, which will be in play this weekend. We'll tell you that and more when WNY News Now returns.
Want weather now? Download the WNY News Now mobile app and stay up to date on severe weather alerts. Plus, anytime hazardous weather strikes, stick with the Southern Tier's only 24/7 streaming network that keeps you safe. You're all in a tornado warning, so now is the time to go to a safe place, small room, lowest floor, near the center, away from windows. What are you waiting for? Download the WNY News Now mobile app today. It's free in the Apple App Store and Google Play Store.
WNY Sports Now is powered by Phone Zone of Jamestown. With the largest inventory around, we buy and sell our own merchandise at a price that can't be beat. Have a broken screen? We'll fix it. Learn more at phonezoneshop.com.
Happy Thursday, sports fans. We are nearing the end of another work week. Welcome back to WNY News Now. I'm Norm Rodriguez with a look at sports. In the varsity boys high school basketball, tonight at 6:30, the Jamestown Red Raiders will host a non-conference game against the McKinley Macs. In Class C action, the Sherman Wildcats will host the Frewsburg Bears with a 7:30 tip-off. Another Section 6 Class C game in play tonight at 7:30 will be the Salamanca Warriors hitting the road against the Gowanda Panthers. A third conference game which will be played at 7:30 tonight will be the Maple Grove Red Dragons hosting the Panama Panthers in another Section 6 Class C basketball game. Jack Eichel, the team captain for the Buffalo Sabres, was named to his third straight NHL All-Star game on Wednesday. In 48 games played this season, Eichel has totaled a team-leading 62 points, scoring 28 goals and dishing 34 assists. With his performance this season, Buffalo is currently in 5th in the Atlantic Division with 51 points. The NHL All-Star Game will be played in St. Louis on Saturday. Tonight at 8 o'clock on TNT, the 18 and 24 Brooklyn Nets will host the 35-9 Los Angeles Lakers. Brooklyn is on a 4-game losing skid, including a 117-111 loss versus the Philadelphia 76ers on Monday in their last game. The Nets are also in 8th place in the Eastern Conference. On the opposing end, LA posted a 192 victory over the New York Knicks in their last game, which was last night. The Lakers-Nets game will be one of 2 games on TNT tonight. That's it for sports today. Back to Justin and Dakota.
Norm, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well, today is National Pie Day. If you've been good so far on your New Year's resolution, maybe today's a good day to indulge a bit. NationalToday.com says it's, quote, a wonderful reminder of America's pie heritage and the expression of the country's love affair with the delicious treats. Some ways to celebrate. You could host a pie party, listen to the 80s hair band Warrant song Cherry Pie, and post your pie celebrations, or check out the celebrations of other pie lovers using the hashtag National Pie Day. Some businesses are offering free and discounted slices of pie as well. You can find a full list at nationaldaycalendar.com.
I will admit, I'm not a huge fan of pie.
No.
But does cheesecake count as pie?
Well, it is circular, so maybe.
Well, I mean, pizza's pie, isn't it?
I think that's something we should.
So there you go.
We should Google.
Is
I
a
really
cheesecake
think
a
so.
pie?
Is a cheesecake a pie?
I'll go Google it in the weather office. Be right back.
Okay. Well, hey, that would.
Well, I mean, a
be
pizza
something.
is a pie.
Yeah.
So
cheesecake
you
must
know,
be a pie.
There you go.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not a big fan of like dessert pies, but if pizza and cheesecake is a pie, oh heck
Right.
yeah.
Well, the producer whispers in my ear. They'd like, you have a tablet in front of you.
Yeah.
Is cheesecake a pie?
The Book of Knowledge. Let's see what it says.
Book of Knowledge. With minor change in appearance, any pastry with a crumble crust filled with custard and baked in is a pie.
Yes, yes, yes.
That according to finecooking.com. All right.
Thank you.
There we go. I love it.
There you go.
That's what we should do this afternoon.
Get some cheesecake.
Cheesecake on Dakota.
Yeah, I don't think so. We'll put it on your account. Let's take a look at the extended forecast. So rain later in the day tomorrow. The early afternoon dry. It's not until later in the day, probably around 2, 3 o'clock is when we'll see some rain showers. The weekend, a sloppy, wintry mix, definitely possible. A few inches of accumulation at this point, but of course that is subject to change by tomorrow. So of course we'll give you our final call projections on that tomorrow afternoon.
Okay, Dakota, thank you very
You're
much.
welcome.
Certainly, as you said, we'll keep you updated on everything weather too at WNYNewsNow.com/weather. That's going to do it for us today. Of course, news continues 24/7 at WNY News Now. When you're on the go, stay in the know by downloading our mobile app. It's free in the Apple App Store and Google Play Store.
Free is one of our favorite 4-letter words.
And got to tease this, tomorrow, a sneak preview at our new set. Which
Yes, it is. Oh my gosh. They
Isn't
gave
it
us a
good?
tour of it this morning.
Yeah.
And oh my gosh, it is so amazing.
And they
I
don't
was so
even-
excited
They
when I
don't
seen
even
it.
have the monitors up
Yeah.
yet either. It's just the set is there, and then there's still some
Woo.
accessories to put into it. So we'll give you a little look at it tomorrow. We'll see you then.